The dollar rose to a 9-month high versus the euro and other main currencies, with Federal Reserve policymakers mostly in agreement that a stimulus taper would start this year. Tune in for the most important finance news today by MasterDigest. Stocks sank the last 2 days, with investors digesting the Federal Reserve's meeting minutes signaling officials were increasing discussions over the start of tapering their asset purchase program. The S&P 500 sank, posting a back-to-back session of declines. The Dow dropped more than 300 points, or 1%, and accelerated to the downside in the final half hour of trading as concern over a quicker-than-expected shift to monetary policy spooked the markets. The Fed's meeting minutes added to a slew of mixed economic and corporate earnings data, all of which weighed on investor sentiment. A disappointing U.S. retail sales report from the Commerce Department served as a key source of concern for equity traders, with sales dropping 1.1% in July versus the 0.3% dip expected. The timing and scope of the eventual rollback of the Fed's highly accommodative monetary policies have been key questions going forward for the markets. But despite some of the lingering uncertainties in markets on the Delta variant and policy fronts, many strategists remain constructive overall on the path forward for equities. So, the taper is coming. That much is certain. Recent reporting indicates the Federal Reserve may move ahead as early as September. 3 Fed officials all over the U.S. map spoke up in recent weeks about the taper. Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan told CNBC that it's time for the Fed to taper in the fall, starting the actual program's end in October. Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin said, "We are closing in on tapering," though he wasn't more specific. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly said a few weeks before her colleagues that the taper could come later this year or in early 2022. Interviewed on CNBC earlier this week, Boston Fed President Eric Rosengren said he could be ready next month to begin. Many market watchers feel that the Fed has been so much more communicative this time around that the taper, when it starts, will be a ho-hum event for investors, and that is the way the market is acting so far. Stocks continue to sit near records, even though they've been weak in recent days, and bond yields remain depressed. But there is a lot the economy and markets still don't know about the Fed's taper plans and the ripple effects. The dollar rose to a 9-month high against its major peers on Thursday, on expectations that the Federal Reserve will start tapering its huge stimulus this year. The dollar index, which measures the U.S. currency against 6 rivals, climbed as high as 93.502, its strongest since November 5, before trading 0.26% higher at 93.464. The euro fell as low as $1.16655 US dollars for the first time since November 4. Fed officials saw the potential to ease bond buying stimulus this year if the economy continues to improve as expected, although the condition of substantial further progress toward maximum employment had not yet been met. A reduction in debt purchases is typically positive for the dollar as the Fed will not be flooding the financial system with as much cash. The focus for Fed watchers now is the annual Jackson Hole, Wyoming Symposium, which runs from August 26 to 28. The Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan is raising new fears for financial experts closely watching the country's already fragile cash-based economy. The Afghan currency, the Afghani, has fallen to record lows, according to Bloomberg. The Afghan United Bank, which had been publishing regular Afghani exchange rates on Facebook, stopped doing so on Thursday. A day earlier, Ajmal Ahmadi, the acting governor of the Central Bank of Afghanistan, tweeted that he had fled the country. All of that came after a rush on local cash withdrawals was reported and Western Union announced that it was suspending money transfer services to Afghanistan until further notice. MoneyGram also appears to have halted its services. Armed Taliban members knocked on doors in cities across Afghanistan, witnesses said, telling fearful residents to return to their jobs a day after the militants announced they wanted to revive the country's battered economy. The wire service spoke to a group of civilians from all over Afghanistan who said they had encounters with members of the insurgent group at their homes within the last day. One Afghan woman told Reuters that 3 armed members of the Taliban came to her and asked about her employment and wages. The woman, who works at an aid organization, was told by the insurgent group to return to work, though she told the wire service that she feared there would be fewer opportunities now that the Taliban are in power. A request-seeking comment from Reuters regarding the door-to-door visits was not immediately returned by a Taliban spokesperson. Global adoption of cryptocurrency has taken off in the last year, up 881%, with Vietnam, India, and Pakistan firmly in the lead, according to new data from Chainalysis. It is the second year the blockchain data firm has released its Global Crypto Adoption Index, which ranks 154 countries according to metrics such as peer-to-peer exchange trading volume, rather than gross transaction volume, which typically favors developed nations with high levels of professional and institutional crypto buy-in. Chainalysis said the purpose of the index is to capture crypto adoption by ordinary people, and to focus on use cases related to transactions and individual saving, rather than trading and speculation. The metrics are weighted to incorporate the wealth of the average person and the value of money generally within particular countries. Most of the top 20 countries are emerging economies, including Togo, Colombia, and Afghanistan. Meanwhile, the United States slipped from 6th to 8th place, and China, which cracked down on crypto this spring, dropped from 4th to 13th. Cryptocurrency prices continue to be in the red for the last 2 days. The global cryptocurrency market cap is $1.93 trillion, a 1.98% increase over the last day, while the total crypto market volume over the last 2 days is $109.97 billion, which makes a 12.36% decrease. The volume of all stablecoins is now $86.45 billion, 78.61% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Bitcoin's price is currently $44,853.70 and its dominance is currently 43.86%, a decrease of 0.56% over Thursday. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and consider subscribing. Also, share this video with your friends if you feel so, and please, put your opinion down in the comments. If you want to know more about the finance, please, check the links below.